long time no see. We have had so much going on, including getting over COVID, which that was not fun. But we're better now. We even have our smell back. And today I'm going to be showing you how I make my white sandwich bread the lazy girl way. I actually got this recipe off of a website, and I will link that below. Love the recipe. I found like everything that I could skip doing in this recipe and did it, and the bread still turns out wonderful. So I'm going to share that with you guys, and I hope you enjoy. To start off, I'm just doing 1 cup of warm water, and I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of yeast. And I'm just going to stir that up and let it sit for about 5 minutes. Sitting, I'm going to do a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of raw sugar, and 1 tablespoon of sea salt, or 2 tablespoons of butter. Now I'm going to put this in my KitchenAid. I'm going to mix it up. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of bread flour and let that start to mix up. And then I'm going to add anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5 more cups of flour. Alright, so I am mixing that up. I'm going to go ahead and add my yeast mixture. Don't mind my toddler in the background getting upset. So adding in my yeast mixture, I gotta go grab my flour. I'm just going to add that first cup of flour in and let it start to mix up. And the recipe calls, I think, for like an extra 4.5 to 6.5 cups. I just go by the consistency. I just look and see what it's doing. So this was my 2nd cup. I'm going to add like 4 more probably. So it's starting to form a dough, and I'm going to switch it to my dough hook. I say to knead this for 10 minutes. I usually do not do that. I let it go for a few minutes, and then I'll show you what I do next. I also don't follow directions completely on the next part either, but that's just me. I don't know about you guys, but I like to save time because there's just so much to do, like always. So skipping steps in the recipe that, I mean, I'm sure they're there for a reason, and you can't do that in everything in life. You can't skip, instructions for everything in life. This recipe you can, and it will still taste awesome and have wonderful consistency. I'm going to drop this down, and I'm going to take out my dough hook. Now, I'm going to grab my oil because I'm going to oil this. They say to take it out, clean the bowl, oil it, and put it back in. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grab my oil. I'm going to pull this out for a second, put the oil in there, drop this back in, coat the whole thing in oil, let it sit with a towel over it for an hour. Okay, I'm going to put a towel over this, and it's going to sit for an hour. Okay, so well, it's been sitting for a while. Didn't rise very much. Don't worry if it doesn't do that. I've had it where it's risen a lot, and then where it's not risen, it's gonna rise. In fact, almost every time it rises so much in my little RV oven that I get to comb over, as I like to call it. Okay, so instead of me doing what they say, which is actually to separate them, roll them into balls, and let them sit for 10 minutes, I don't do that. Because then you're supposed to do, after that, then you put it in your bread pans and let it sit again for like another 30 minutes. And I just don't want to do that, and I've done it now without doing it, and the bread's fine. So if you're looking for a recipe where you like follow the instructions completely and then it like turns out, however, this is not the video for you. This is a lazy way. Okay, yeah. So I just take this, I'm gonna split it in half, or at least what seems like half, and go. I'm going to just kind of smush it into a ball. Okay, now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start, like, I don't know how to describe this, but kind of rolling it on its, or pulling it apart on itself. So I make like a little, I don't know, like hoagie type of, you see that? And I'm going to plop that into my, because I'm going to let it rise some more in here. Pop it into my bread pan. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Alright, and so I've got my 2 little hoagie type rolls in my pan. I'm going to take a knife. I'm just going to score the top of it on both of them. I'm gonna let that sit for another 30 minutes with a towel over it. Halfway through, I'm gonna preheat my oven. I don't remember what it says. I'll write it down below, but it's probably 350 or 425. I have no idea. All of the numbers rubbed off on my RV oven. So I basically just turn it on and keep an eye on it, because I don't know what's what. Yeah. They are in the oven and they're already starting to hit the top. I've got them cooking, and see, they rose even though they didn't look that great, and they'll be done soon. Okay, so you're gonna bake it at 375 for 30 to 35 minutes. Like I said, my oven is weird, so I don't really know, but here it is. All right, guys, even with all the skip steps, it turned out great, so I hope you enjoy. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the bread. I hope it turns out great for you. Make sure and leave a comment below if you try it. I will be doing a few more videos on cooking. I am learning how to make some new things. Next on the list is raw milk cottage cheese and raw milk yogurt. And I don't know about you guys, but it's almost spring. It is time to start seeds, so gardening videos will be coming back. Thank goodness. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Bye.